Right, now most of the chassis is in place. We've just got to pop the motherboard into position. This board secures with just a single screw. You've got various posts you can see lining up with holes in the board itself. So we're just going to drop this in place. Just see where we line up to, make sure all the cables that need to be top side of the board are top side of the board. Don't want any getting lost. And you see there's one there, quite a common one to not realise. Leave it underneath and that will stick your board up above the level of the screw and stop the casing from shutting. So just need to be very conscious that everything is flat and level before we go any further. If there's something that doesn't look flush, it's probably because it's not, which probably means you have got an errant cable in the way. It may just be something like that causing the board there just to stick above the level it should. Just feel around the board, make sure you're happy that everything's in place as it should be. Right, now like I said, just a single screw securing the board, so we'll pop that in place there. Nice big triangle marking the way there, and then we can work around the board just popping the connections back in. Now it's essentially secured down. We can do this before I drop the second hinge, purely because we've got to get the Wi-Fi card in, and those cables will sit underneath that hinge. So let's get the speaker one connected. And we'll work around the board connecting the rest. Obviously, until you're confident with these, it's always a very good idea to take a photo of the board before you disconnect any cables, just so you can be happy that you've got everything back where it should be, and don't make any silly mistakes. Just get that cable out from under there. Okay, that would appear to be most of the major connections in place. So from there we'll continue. We'll just get the Wi-Fi card and the SSD back into place. Just going to run these cables down and get them connected to the card. Pretty much all cards now become pre-marked, so it's a little black triangle, little white triangle by each connection, so you know which cable's which. Okay. Pop that into place. Put the SSD into place. Remember to just tag in the cover. As you can see there, there's one little tag, just goes under this plastic post here, slight lip on it, so just tag that underneath, drop it down and secure it. Two slightly different size screws on these, so do be careful. The easiest way, of course, is just to keep one of the screws at least in its current position, and then you know you're putting it back right. Okay, with those two on, we should now at least be able to just bear in mind this post here is going to marry up with this hole on top of the hinge, so you don't want your wires getting in the way of that, and you certainly also don't want them getting trapped in there, because this again is going to line up here. So we'll use that part of the hinge just to keep that cable in place and just ensure that they sit under there, and then we'll bolt that hinge back in, and that is essentially the motherboard back in place. Right, excellent. Next we'll pop the heatsink back and the fan.